community for a while, you may notice something a little different tonight, even in the name. What used to be Heart Center Connection, we're now changing to Heart Center Connections. And honestly, that shift matters because this is no longer just a conversation happening here at the Heart Center. This is becoming a living exploration of relationships, emotional patterns, healing, and what it actually means to stay connected in a world where so many people feel overwhelmed. People feel reactive, disconnected, and alone. And the Heart Center has always been a loving community where we share our strengths, our gifts, and our struggles with authenticity, compassion, and the freedom of human connection. That part is not changing, but we're evolving the format into something more interactive, more real, and more alive. Each week, you will be able to write in or even to join us live to share your relationship struggles, recurring emotional patterns, heartbreak, confusion, questions, the kind of solutions many people quietly carry for years without ever really talking about. Together, we're going to explore them through the lens of ARC: aware, release, choose, and commit. Because most people don't actually need surface level advice. We need help seeing the pattern underneath the pattern. What's really happening? What is stuck underneath what we're doing? And what would it look like to actually consciously choose a different way of relating to other people? Not perfectly, but honestly. Some nights it'll be me, some nights it'll be Winnie and I, and we'll explore together. Some nights we'll have guests with different perspectives and different lived experiences. We'll also be creating visual story experiences inspired by the messages that we get from people using art, imagery, and AI to help bringing these emotional worlds into a life deeper and in a more human way. Because these aren't just anonymous problems. These are real human beings trying to love, stay connected, and make sense of our lives. And if we do this right, I think a lot of people are going to realize they're not nearly as alone as they thought they were. So tonight we begin this new chapter together. Tonight's letter is called Hot and Cold After 33 Years. I have a feeling many people listening are going to recognize themselves somewhere inside the story. Let's hear the letter.
I've been with this woman on and off for 33 years. We broke up 2 months ago. She went out and tried dating other people. None of them lasted past a second date. Now she's back, sort of. We've been in this gray zone for about 2 weeks where we're together, but she won't commit to it. Hot one day, cold the next, present in the evening, distant by morning. She's always been like this. I know the word for it now. Dismissive avoidant. When things get close, she pulls back. When I pull back, she comes forward. It's been this way for decades. I thought the breakup would finally break the cycle, but here we are again doing the same dance. The honest part, I don't want to say out loud. I keep going back because 33 years feels like too much to walk away from. Like all that time has to mean something. Like if I just wait long enough, she'll finally choose me all the way. But she's never chosen me all the way. And I don't know if that's about her or about what I'm willing to accept. What am I actually doing here?
So that's fascinating because what the letter says there at the end really has the answer embedded in it. So I want to talk about this situation in the lens of the ARC, of the framework that Winnie and I have developed here at the Heart Center. So I'd like to invite our dear Winnie Chan Wang on. Winnie, of course, is a licensed acupuncturist, and she has come fresh from the field. She's working all day bringing acupuncture to hospitals, which you may not know, but it does not happen here in the United States. So Winnie is breaking new ground with a team of people at her side. And of course, she's always been my research and development partner here at the Heart Center. Welcome, Winnie.
Hello, everyone.
So here we have this relationship situation where the man wrote in, said that the woman was avoidant and dismissive, and that this pattern was there for 33 years, and that they had recently broken up, but none of it had gone anywhere for them on those dates. So they are trying to get back together. But the question comes in there at the end. What am I? Is this about this? Is she going to be willing to commit, or is this about my willingness to accept the lack of commitment? It's not exactly what he said, but that's the frame that he put it in. And I think the awareness, I think, for this person needs to come first of all from his own actions, right? If they were in a relationship and there was this dismissive, avoidant pattern the whole time, then he was playing into that pattern. And he probably did this, if he's anything like me, by avoiding his feelings about what was happening. So basically, he is not committing to the relationship. He's numbing himself to the relationship. And so she feels that there's this lack of commitment. And so she doesn't want to commit. And they go on like this for 33 years. So what is it first that you think that he needs to become aware of?
It's interesting because the first thing I want to say about this was I was in a 19-year relationship, and that's exactly how I felt. And I relate to the woman. And it's actually no fault of the man. That's the first thing to be aware of, is that if I, the woman, have not chosen myself, there's nothing the man can do for me to choose him, because if I haven't chosen myself, I can't choose anybody. So it's not that there's anything he can do to make her choose him, is that she has to do the work to choose herself.
Mm.
And over again, I want to emphasize that everyone has the yin yang, both. Everyone has the inner masculine and everyone has the inner feminine. That means everyone is everyone is capable of setting their own boundaries. Everyone is capable of protecting themselves. Everyone is capable of having structure, discipline, clarity. And everyone is capable of loving themselves, accepting themselves, nourishing themselves. So before we enter into a relationship, we get to be whole and complete, right? Because if I have an incomplete self and I enter a relationship, I'll be desperate, I'll be needy, I'll be complaining, I'll be blaming, I'll be like, WTF. Yes. If you ever use WTF, that is a sign that there is hole or holes that you haven't filled. There are gaps in self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect, self-appreciation.
Mm.
If you haven't chosen yourself fully, nobody can choose you either. Right? So it's really funny because honestly, I was in a 19-year relationship and I felt like I worked so hard trying to keep this relationship together. And at the end, it didn't work. Why? Because I still haven't loved myself. I was still blaming. I was still showing up as a victim.
Mm.
Right? So it's like, what ultimately happened was actually I ended this 19-year relationship. And that sent me into the dark night of the soul, where I look at everything that I want to say about the opposite sex. For example, he is emotionally unavailable. He hasn't done his inner child work. He has unhealed mother wounds. And then what? I crossed out all the he and I put I. So it became I was emotionally unavailable. It became I still haven't healed my inner child. It became I haven't healed my mother wounds. And that is what is fundamentally so powerful about Heart Center. It's about taking your power back. We don't go blame and be like, you, WTF, you, WTF. No, we don't do that. We don't raise our voice on other people, but we raise the awareness on ourselves. Why? Because relationships are mirrors. So whatever, I made that really long list of everything I don't like about him. I just crossed out all the he and turned into I. And then there's like bing, bing, bing. And I was like, oh my God, this is the report card that I'm looking at myself. So, it was really funny because immediately after ending this 19-year relationship, I was like, oh, I'm not going to enter any relationship. I'm going to find a cave, hide there for 10 years. And I don't know if I can ever fall in love again.
I found you in the cave.
But you know what Jay said to me that was very powerful. And there are a lot of women out there who have fear of commitment, fear of entering relationship, fear of falling in love again because they remember the heartbreak. They remember how much it hurt in the heart. So they don't want to be vulnerable again. So that was me. Immediately after breakup, I just want to find a hole and hide there forever. And no, I do not want to enter any relationship. I want to heal myself first. But then Jay said, being in a relationship is actually a really good way to heal because you need that mirror to reflect back, right? If I go hide in the cave, I'm just more avoiding myself. I'm just more numbing and checking out. I'm not moving towards being in a relationship. How do you be in a relationship? You practice. Okay, life is practice. It's like the 10,000 hour rule. Who knows the 10,000 hour rule? Okay, it's like it doesn't matter how many times you fall in love. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It's like it doesn't matter how many times you fall off the bike. How many times you swallow water when you're in the ocean. You just keep going. That's how you get good at biking, at swimming, and dating is the same way. You hurt, you get back in. You hurt, you get back in. You hurt, you get back in. And this is why the ARC is so powerful, right? It doesn't mean that I'm going in with baggage from my past relationship. Because A is aware. Aha. I'm aware that I'm emotionally unavailable. I'm aware that I still have all these unhealed inner child wounds. I haven't really sat down and listened to myself. And I have unhealed father wound, unhealed mother wound. So step 2 of the R is release. And Jay can tell us all about the Tao calligraphy light wall because we inhale the love and light and then we exhale, we release these old patterns. I used to do shadow work. I used to use a journal. I used to reflect on, okay, on this day, you wrote this email, you said this sentence, and when you wrote this email and this sentence, I felt this way. And, it was very, very tiring to do shadow work one email at a time. But what is so great about the Tao calligraphy, like, whoa, is we're not healing one boyfriend at a time, one email at a time. We're releasing vibrations at a higher dimension. That means we're not going into the Excel spreadsheet and cleaning one cell of negative information at a time. We're deleting rows and columns and maybe even worksheets at a time. Yes, Jay, you're going to say something.
Well, before we get into releasing, I'd like to add something that I think will be useful for people to be aware of on the psychological end of things. Because you and I had this pattern, a similar pattern to the one that this guy describes in in my observation in the beginning of our relationship. And what's happening, I think, with this relationship is they're staying close enough to not feel lonely, but far enough so that they don't ever have to be vulnerable in front of each other. And there's this distance that gets created in a lot of relationships. And I noticed this distance early on, as I said, in our relationship. And it was taking on responsibility for it, right? So the awareness for me came with also noticing that I was creating this pattern. I was blaming it on you. She does this and she wants to keep me at arm's length and blah, blah, blah in my head. But actually, when I identified that this was me, and then I had the benefit also, I talk about this in my book. I had the benefit of hearing a podcast from someone who talked about commitment. And in this podcast, this woman said that if the man commits fully to the relationship, if he takes ownership in the relationship, then the relationship shifts. So I said, okay. So then I did. I took ownership in the relationship. And you asked me to fix the garage door in the building that you were renting at the time, and I took care of it. And I started to act like I was your man, your husband, your boyfriend. And our relationship shifted. So I really wanted to, sorry to cut you off, but I really wanted to emphasize this awareness of ownership from the man's side as well, right? There's also this echoing in his letter of she's avoidant, she's like this, and and we talked about, absolutely the woman needs to love herself, and the man also needs to become aware of his pattern, do his shadow work, and find deeper love for himself. Because as you point out, when we don't do this, it builds up, and then it comes out in negative behavior like resistance, like raising your voice, fighting, things like this. So it's really important, I think, for men especially to become aware of these patterns, because we're the ones that tend to be avoidant the most in society. We are the ones who aren't taught about our emotions, and so we can tend to avoid, numb, and create patterns of distance without even knowing we're doing it. So then this creates a buildup, a self relationship, an internal relationship whereby we are disappointed in ourselves without even recognizing that it's ourselves we're disappointed in. We think we're disappointed in this relationship. We think we're angry about this thing that she does. And meanwhile, some part of us is conscious of this avoidance and it's creating grief. It's 33 years of never committing creates this pattern of loss, because that's 33 years that you could have been in a committed relationship, or you could have sought out a different relationship where it would be more conducive to commitment or whatever you need to do. 33 years is a lot of buildup. So another thing I want, and I'm so glad you brought up the release and the Tao calligraphy light wall. Another thing I want to help people understand, again, especially men, is that these are patterns that get built up over a long time, and they don't necessarily disappear with a wave of a wand. And the work that we do with the Tao calligraphy light wall, the work that we do with each other, with communication, um, it's it collects over time, and it changes our patterns in a very deep way. Um, so you were talking about the Tao calligraphy light wall as a means of release, and I wonder if you could talk more about this and how it could release patterns in our life. Because I have had the experience where I was much more reactionary, much more angry, much I had much more tendency to resist, and that has diminished, in an incredible amount over time. But there was never a moment that I noticed in particular. Um, what is your experience of this?
Yeah, so if the team can bring up the law of Shen Qi Jing that we can talk about in a relationship.
Mm,
So Masha Shah, he's a Western medicine doctor, a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, and a world-renowned spiritual healer. And one of the things that he co-developed is called Tao Science with quantum physics PhD Rulan Xiu. And the law of Shen Qi Jing can really help us enter into relationship. Why? Because it says that everyone and every relationship has a Shen Qi Jing, right? So one of the very common things I see is the desire to control, to grasp, to attach in relationships. And that no, we don't want to do that, because if we want to grab the other person, if we want to attach to the other person, if we want to see them and we can't see them, then what are we doing? We create suffering, frustration for ourselves. Oh, I want to see her. Oh, but I could not. Oh, I want to do this with her. Oh, I could not. Right? So the way is to understand that when we enter into a relationship, we get to look at the soul first, right? So the law of Shen Qi Jing says everyone and everything is made up of soul, heart, mind, energy, and body. Shen is made up of soul, heart, mind, where the soul is the content of the information. So, for example, when I earlier said that, okay, have I done inner child healing? Right? This is something new. My father didn't do inner child healing. My mother didn't do inner child healing. Okay. Talk therapy wasn't around when my parents, were giving birth to me, and definitely not for the first 15 years of my life. So you can say that some of this emotionally unavailable pattern is ancestral. It's cultural, right? Chinese people, we always want to look good. We don't talk about our feelings much. Okay, so that is, we can call ancestral information that's stored in the content
mm,
of the information. I call this the Excel spreadsheet, the database, the warehouse. Now, the step 2 is the heart, right? So a lot of people, they close their heart. Why? Because I don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to feel how much it hurt me the last time I broke up from the 19-year relationship. Right? So a lot of people close their heart because what? They don't want to feel the pain, but when they close their heart, they also cannot attract new love. They also cannot attract money. So if your heart is close to one thing, your heart is close to everything, because close to one thing is close to all things. Okay, then we have the mind, right? So the mind is the processor of information. So who's tired of negative bias, right? So when negative bias works like this, I touch a boiling pot, it's hot. So then I remember, oh, see pot, don't touch. So the brain stores all these negative scripts that says, oh, see men, they're dangerous. Okay, they're unreliable, they betray, and they are emotionally unavailable. How many women have these negative scripts, right? Okay, so like their brain is full of fear, like how can I protect myself? Okay, this is why talk therapy is not going to help you. It will help you, but it's very slow. It's like one episode at a time. As I said, I used to do it one email at a time. I'm like, well, when he said this, I felt that. One boyfriend at a time, when he did this, I felt that. But then when we do heal at the soul level, we can heal so much faster. And that's the release. Right? And then I want to talk about the C, which is the commit and the choose. So Master Sha, he emphasized this teaching is called 知行合一. 知 means to know, 行 means action, 合一 means the same, right? So you want to open your heart, and then it comes down to energy. What is energy, right? Energy is the action. So are you taking the action for love? Are you taking the action to build your career? Are you picking up that phone and making that phone call? Or are you still crippled by your fears, like, oh, I feel scared, right? Or are you just going out there making another phone call, another phone call, another phone call? Are you just doing it, practicing, being on the field? Right? So then we get to the body. The body is the report card. Body is what we can see and touch, right? So that is the transformer. And notice there's an arrow going from the matter, the body, back to the soul. Because the data is the report card. So when we look every day at our bank account balance, how many people do that? Look at their bank account balance every day. How many people step on the scale every day and look at how am I doing on my health? Or maybe they look at their blood pressure, the oxygen meter, their antioxidants level. How many people do the ARC? A is aware. They score themselves. How am I doing on generosity? How am I doing on kindness? How am I doing on patience? How am I doing on compassion? Aha. So Master Sha gave this teaching, which is called the 10 Da, the 10 greatest qualities. They are the greatest love, the greatest forgiveness, the greatest compassion, the greatest light, the greatest humility, the greatest harmony, the greatest flourishing, the greatest gratitude, the greatest service, and the greatest enlightenment. So with the ARC, if every day, those anxiety and depression questionnaire, they score, okay, 1 to 10, where are you? Just score yourself 1 to 10 every day. How's my love today? How's my forgiveness today? How's my compassion today? How's my gratitude today? Write it down. And then what? And then do the Tao calligraphy light while breathing to bring your score up. aha, I'm realizing this triggered me and now my gratitude score is very low. Right? If you have 1 second anger, 1 second what WTF, it means you're not in gratitude. Okay, I tell you right now, if you get 1 second, I'm crying, why is that person mean to me? You're not seeing the light in the other person. You're not seeing how that person is putting $10 million per second into your heart and your pocket. Why is Jay laughing? Because I'm all the time loving him, trying to give him gold coins. But then when he had historically these angry moments, he's not in gratitude. And this is what I love. Like Dr. Rulin Shu, she teaches this course called Tao Science of Manifestation. And it's so simple. It says, be tenda to manifest all life. So that's what the C is. C is to choose and commit to the tenda. I tell you something. Choosing and committing a life to tenda is the smartest thing I've ever done. Right? David Meltzer, he made $100 million. How? He said gratitude every day. He traced calligraphy, 10 minutes, flourishing every day. What is the magic here? The magic is the ARC. I'm aware of my negative pattern. I use Tao calligraphy light wall to release the darkness or the heaviness, the old patterns. And then I choose. 知行合一, we got to take the action to show up as Tenda. Yes, Jay.
I would like to lead us in a practice.
Perfect.
Take us into the action.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a little meditation, and then we will go into the Tao calligraphy light wall practice.
Perfect.
So if everybody can join me in having their feet on the floor, back straight, away from the back of your chair, and start to check in with your breath. Start to connect with yourself. Notice where your breath is at. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it consistent? Is it quick? Allow your exhale, wherever you're at, to start to extend, become a little longer than your inhale. And as you're breathing out, visualize the energy in your body moving down through your feet and into the ground. Breathing in energy from all around you and breathing out into the earth beneath your feet. And this time, as you notice you breathing in, the earth starts to change the quality, the consistency of the energy that comes into you through your feet. So you deepen this relationship with the ground, with the earth, allowing your energy to sink deeper and deeper with every exhale, bringing in the transformed energy from the earth, the cleansed energy back into your body. So continue to extend downward into the earth. See one main root coming from beneath you all the way down into the center of the earth. So with each breath, going deeper and deeper. With each exhale, going down. With each inhale, the transformed energy from the earth comes back into our body. We feel the vitality of the earth. We feel one with the earth. coming back into our body, feeling the energy of the earth filter into our body. Allow your energy to now extend to the entirety of your body, of your field. So keep the roots connected all the way to the center of the earth. But with each exhale, extend your energy just slightly. So now it's just past your skin. But with each exhale, the light that you project, fueled by the light, the energy that you're bringing from the earth, allows you to extend your energy, to expand it far beyond its normal capacity. As you exhale each time, your energy, your field becomes larger and larger. Right now, it's the size of the room that you're in. Let it grow to the size of the entire building. With each exhale, expand even more until you find yourself expanding out into the cosmos, into the stars. With each exhale, you are going out farther and farther. Now ask yourself from this position, is there something that I am ready to transform so that I can choose my highest path and commit to it? Allow this image, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a smell, whatever it is, allow this message to be received without judgment. And remember, if it gives you an emotional reaction, you're still connected to the earth, still connected through your feet. And now you're bringing back from the stars this message of what you are ready to transform. So coming back, allowing our energy to come back into our body, inhabiting the fullness of our bodies, the fullness of our fields, and holding this part of us that needs attention, that needs transformation, and connecting with Da-I, the greatest love. Just like you connected your root down to the earth, allow a tendril to grow from your heart to the calligraphy, the Da-I. Feel the love enter your field. And with the slightest change of intention, you can focus this energy on the area that you need to transform. So see this part of your life, this part of you, this area, see it filling with love. See the love as this light. It's so bright, so thick, it's almost liquid. It's going into this place in you, this place that needs transformation. Maybe it's your self-judgment. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's fear of being hurt again. Whatever it is that's coming up for you, allow the love, allow the greatest love to fill this part of you. And see what message emerges when you give this part the greatest love. And holding this part of you as the most holy, the most lovely, the most powerful part of you, but also sensitive. So gently, lovingly holding this part of yourself as the greatest love floods you in this area. Allow yourself to receive one final message before we come out of this meditation. Whatever it is that your highest self wants you to know in this moment. Coming back into our bodies, coming back into the room, coming back to our breath. Maybe flexing your toes and your fingers, and you're moving your wrists and your ankles, rolling your shoulders and your neck, and allowing yourself to come back into the room. Take a few notes if you want to make sure you hold on to the messages that you received during this meditation. And I'd love to hear from any of you who are here tonight, whether on Zoom or in person. What revelations have come to you today? Not only how this meditation affected you, but perhaps what you heard in what Winnie had to say. We'd love to hear from our dear community members. Bettina, would you like to say something? I noticed you turned on your camera.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I'm so grateful that I'm joining live today, and I tried to figure out what message will come, but I got an insight that I have to root myself so deep with the Da-I calligraphy. That was great. That helped me a lot. And I think, but no, I know I don't say think. I am working on grief. It is something with grief. And I got a cold, and it's not, the cold is only this some level, but deep in myself, I feel that I could how do I say, but I was in a funeral, an elderly lady. She was my best friend when I lived in that city, and I could always go. She helped me, and she helped me so much. And in that funeral, the life of that lady was told. And I am so touched with that. And now she's passed away, and for other people perhaps it's more usual, but I myself, I was and I am, I have not yet recovered this
Mm.
because she is the family and she choose to get injection in Switzerland. You can do that, and therefore I was not aware. But another friend from my time when I was in that city, she told me this. And in the funeral, they don't speak about it, but person to person, they told me this, and now I was somehow shocked that people have sufferings that they choose this, and it was for myself now. I speak to you, and I really feel it affected me, and I could speak with the girlfriend from that time. She visited the lady more often and helped her cleaning and was a real friend up to this. But I have to release it,
Yeah,
and therefore
it
I don't
and
know.
it
I
sounds
don't.
like you
I'm
had an experience with the I that allowed you to begin to release it.
yes, and I
Thank you so
don't
much.
know. I don't want to speak too long about this, but I have never, perhaps in other cities or other people, they have that more often. But okay, and I will start to release this, and don't know how to handle a grief. Say bye bye, and that's it. Or yes, okay. Thank you for today.
Thank you, Bettina. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say? Helen, do you want to share?
Hi, Jay. I
Hi.
joined late, but I'm grateful to be able to be in the field. I already feel like so much lighter because I was trying to figure out how I can help more people. And the message I got was to be vulnerable
Mm.
and to open up people's hearts. And when I was in the field, I found myself sneezing. So I found that it was just like releasing negative energy, negative information that was in me when I was sneezing. And I feel lighter, like I feel more grounded, and I feel like I'm heading in the more right direction, I guess you could say,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of serving more people. Because if you want to help people, you need to be able to open people's hearts. And how do you open people's hearts is by being vulnerable and telling your story. So thank you so much for letting me share.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, does anyone else have anything they'd like to share before we move to the practice? Go ahead, Chloe. We even left your stool.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
I need a mic.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I also got something very poignant from our practice. What I have been working on is being my own cheerleader. So this also kind of relates to what we were talking about earlier. Sometimes I struggle with accepting or like receiving fully like a compliment or encouragement or just like something that's like tries to like shove it away. But the other thing is I also struggle to have that encouragement for myself. So I need to be my own cheerleader. I what I got in from the practice was when I was younger, I would play with these little pom-poms. Like, this was like when I was like really young, probably like 6 or something. I had these pom-poms and like shake them around. They were like the most fun things ever. So I just like, I had that. I was like, wait, I need to get myself some pom-poms and like actually like physically like shake it out and be like, yay, I'm doing so great. Because like, if I'm just telling myself like I'm doing so great, like it's probably not gonna sink in that much. But like if I have this little pom-poms go, yay, I'm doing so great, it'll probably stick. It will stick. Excuse me, it will stick better. And if they're rainbow, that's even better. So, anyways, that's what I got. And also, I encourage myself to be a cheerleader and you all to be your own cheerleaders. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your experiences with this practice, and I'm grateful that we all got something meaningful from it. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Yay!
We're just starting. Don't go anywhere. You want to? Did you want to share? Oh, well, then do go somewhere.
Yes.
And give the mic to April on your way out. Here comes our dear, very own April Aoki, who is currently putting on a mic. April was out with Winnie today, serving in LA General Hospital today, playing the heart beautifully. You'll see some video in coming social media posts for the Heart Center.
So I'm so glad just the Heart Center is here, that Winnie and Jay are so authentic. I really feel, getting a little emotional, how authentic brings out, who is April? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Things that we tend to, like you said earlier, go to numbing. And some brains actually do that just naturally. It's as a way of dealing with things. And I want to thank you, Helen, for sharing about being vulnerable, because I realize in sharing music with harp and essential oils that we did share at another hospital yesterday, how I sometimes went on a script, like, oh, yes, this is used by Roman soldiers, before they went to battle, and this oil was for releasing certain things. It's because I know what these do, but I realized afterwards to really be vulnerable and to listen, not just hear, in terms of relating to people. So this is helping me break open. Lifetime behavior. So thank you, Helen. And thank you, Heart Center. Just really having a place to discuss these things every Wednesday. Some of us don't have any other where to go. Stay at home, or we are in our cave, our box, whatever, and men have their men cave, I guess. So there's so many opportunities with Heart Center, with and also our affiliated friends, like Jay has a men's walk, and just for men, just these things that open up the world. And now, we're so much in LA. I'm in my car. This is my environment. Versus being out there walking, meeting people and other ways of being, so I appreciate this experience. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your courage and willingness to get out there and serve fearlessly, and also I think it's really admirable that you are striving to learn constantly. Still, doesn't matter what age we are, as long as we're learning, we're living, right? We're getting out there, we're moving and serving, and you are a great servant, and we really love you and appreciate you.
And I encourage all of you to share what Heart Center does, and valuable opportunity to grow and to learn and becoming more of who you are. And who are you? Using ARC, I mean, all these things, these are tools. Calligraphy light wall, all tools to help us be who we are meant to be in this life,
So let's use the Tao Calligraphy light wall.
Yeah.
And let's do something a little unusual tonight. We don't normally do this, and we won't do it again for very soon, very likely. But let's focus the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna open the Tao Calligraphy light wall. And just tuning back into the field. And what we'll do is this part of us that we're transforming, that we're learning to love. We're each going to send the light of first Da Quan Shu, the greatest forgiveness, Da I, the greatest love, and Da Guang Ming, the greatest light, to help us all gain more clarity, more self-love, and the most important element that we'll start with is forgiveness. You know, in the relationship example that we talked about tonight, I pointed out that the man writing this letter probably has a lot of grief. And he may think it's 33 years of her doing XYZ, but actually it's 33 years of him accepting less than what he truly wants and never and avoiding it, like April pointed out, and numbing, which many of us do, which most of us do in some way. And I really think it's beautiful that Chloe and April and Bettina and Helen all pointed to the special role that the Heart Center plays in our lives in transforming these things. So we're gonna practice Tao calligraphy light wall breathing now. So we'll all deeply inhale to a count of 5, and then we will chant on the exhale. As you inhale, see the light from the calligraphy infusing this part of you and growing to make this part feel loved, to help yourself receive light. And of course, first, most important step is to forgive ourselves for these choices we've made in the past. Deeply inhale. The greatest forgiveness, Da Quan Shu. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest forgiveness. Deeply inhale the light of the greatest forgiveness, helping you transform and release whatever has blocked you in the past. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest forgiveness. Even if you've made this choice over and over and you've resolved many times never to do this again, never to accept this again, never to engage in that behavior again, whatever it is, that's yesterday. Choose to forgive yourself in this moment. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release yesterday. Greatest forgiveness. Unwind, release whatever it is. Allow the light to enter more deeply as you inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Allow the blockage to be released as you chant. Greatest forgiveness. One more time, into your heart, into this part of you that needs the most forgiveness in this moment. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest forgiveness. Now check in with your heart. Check in with your interior self. Are you forgiven? I'm getting collectively we're about 70% forgiven. So let's deeply inhale the greatest forgiveness into our special area. 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest forgiveness. Okay, this is going to be heavy now. Get ready. All right, bring the light into your heart. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now send it down into your navel. And as you chant, send it through your umbilical cord back to your mother. Greatest forgiveness. Transforming your internal relationship with your mother, transforming your internal relationship with yourself. Deeply inhale into your heart and through your navel. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to your ancestors. Greatest forgiveness. One more time, let the greatest forgiveness resonate from the core of your being to every particle and wave of light that emanates from you. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest forgiveness. Okay, good. Now bringing in the love, letting the love wash us from core, from the center of our being to the exterior of our field. Deeply inhale the greatest love. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest love. Give yourself that love, and love will come back to you 100-fold. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest love. One more time. Inhale into your heart, to the core of your heart. See the light from the portal come from every direction into you till you are shining and vibrating with the greatest love. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest love. Good, excellent. Integrating the greatest love, feeling yourself awash in love. And now, one more connection, one more calligraphy. Greatest light to bring us transformation in our awareness, our ability to see and not turn away from these parts of us that are difficult. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest light. Greatest light. See the light of Da Guang Ming shine through this portal into the core of your being. Light up your root all the way up your central channel to your crown. Deeply inhale the greatest light. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest light. Transforming the grief in our lungs, transforming the habits, the patterns, transforming the fear of looking truthfully at ourselves. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, chant. Greatest light. One more time, bringing clarity from crown to root. See the light enter the top of your head, go all the way through your being, all the way down to the ground, through the connection that you made with the earth earlier today, giving this feedback loop between the earth and the greatest light. Deeply inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now shine your light. Greatest light. Integrating greatest light and the Tenda. How. Thank you. Love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. Respectfully return to all the souls who helped transform our blockages as part of this practice. All of the holy beings who came to support us. And thank you to Master Sha for sharing this wisdom and this technology with us. We're deeply honored and deeply grateful. How? So that, my friends, was just a taste of what we do 5 days a week here at the Heart Center for an hour. You did about 10 minutes there. Now, in 50 minutes to an hour, which is what we do 5 days a week, you can transform a lot of blockage. I'm really interested to hear about your experience of this Tao calligraphy light wall breathing. And if anybody would like to share, I would love to give them a moment. We've got a few minutes left if anyone would like to share. Any takers? Go ahead, Helen.
Wow, that was so powerful. With my spiritual eye, I saw healing in my relationship with my mother, and not only that, but also healing with like the rest of the family, and just, changing lifetimes of relationships within the family. Like it's just beyond imaginable if you can, see it. That's what I saw with my spiritual eye. So it was deeply transformative, and I had some tears coming down when the greatest light came in. It was just so bright. I was like, wow, I can't even like open my eyes because it was just so bright. So thank you so much. It was very, very powerful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thanks for your comments. And it would be great to have an episode about this at some point. And I'd love it if you come on and talk a bit. This relationship with our family and how basically we inherit these patterns. And in Eastern philosophy we call it karma, and in Western psychology, we just think of it as like, this family drama that we have from our family of origin. But actually, what's so powerful about this practice is that we can change generations and generations and generations of behavior in ourselves. We can forever change how this behavior goes forward by changing it in ourselves, which is so powerful. So on that note, thank you so much, Helen. Thank you, Bettina. Thank you, April. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Winnie. I think April has something to say. Before she comes on, what I'd like to say actually is that to just remind each of you, so I point out to you, Helen, I'd love to talk to you in the future about this topic of family karma. We really as you can see, we're transforming the podcast. And what we really would like to see is for us to deal with people's real world relationship issues live here once a week. And then we work together to transform our need in ourselves or in each other, and then have a live demo also with the calligraphy light wall as part of the release part of the ARC, aware, release, and choose. So why the reason I bring this up is because I would love for each and any of you who has a question, who has a relationship issue that they would like the Heart Center to talk about, that they would like some guidance on, please email us at heartcenterla1@gmail.com. That is heartcenterla1@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your stories and answer your questions. So as you saw tonight, this is becoming a call-in or write-in question and answer show, and we're using this format to deal with people's real problems, to listen to you and hear what your needs are. So if you have anything that you'd like talked about as part of our podcast, please let us know once again at heartcenterla1@gmail.com. Thank you for your patience, April. Come on, why don't you come on, and we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Do you want to hop in? It's called The Field here. We're all about frequency and vibration, you know. And I just, again, Helen, I just wanted to echo some things. It just feels like being here at the Heart Center, it just, right tonight, it's a pivotal moment for me, like deep change for some reason. But, you know, it's a dog calligraphy wall, which you saw. Just powerful frequency. Gosh, it's a real change for me tonight. And I just wanted to let you know that, I mean, I could just be quiet and be there, but I thought this time I'm just going to come out and speak, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
And express myself. So you too can all do this. I encourage you to step out there if you feel shy, or I mean, I've always been like in the background, but it's time for me to just be April and speak up and participate. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really great to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And this is, you know, I'm really glad you brought this up. This is how we started the podcast, talking about how it can take time to transform, but how powerful is the transformation in the end. So it's really, it's beyond amazing, and yet, you know, it can take some time and work and commitment on our part, which you have put in, which I really appreciate about you.
Thank you.
So April joins us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and Tuesday and Thursday evening at breathing.heartcenter.la for our daily breathing practice. And both of us can attest that when you do it consistently, it transforms your life. So we strongly encourage you to join us. Again, you can find that at breathing.heartcenter.la. Finally, I have an announcement to make. We will be starting in about a month. We will be starting on a new event called Conscious Connections. Now, this will be a live event here in Los Angeles to help people find conscious relationships. And we're really excited. We're really, you know, the way this came about is Winnie and I went on a trip recently, and all of the other people that we were with, except for the people who were running the trip, were single and having difficulty connecting with someone in Los Angeles for various reasons. And, well, let's just say Winnie and I have really great relationship karma. And you'll hear a lot more about this in future episodes. But of course, I also have a PhD. I have training in human relations at various levels, organizational levels and interpersonal levels. And Winnie brings her years and years of experience as a healer, as a acupuncturist, as a Tao calligraphy light wall practitioner. And together we create this incredible community. And we want to bring that community into people's lives because we know that making connections is not about what's wrong with the other people. It's about how we can transform, how we can hold more of ourselves, how we can become more whole. So we look forward to bringing that, look out for that in coming days. And of course, how could I forget? Every week we are joined here. We are joined together here at Heart Center Connections. Change the name just a little bit to help focus this change, this realignment of the Heart Center to solve and transform your relationships blockages. Really honored to be here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. for Heart Center Connections. We encourage you to join us, bring someone else, and please, if you have a story of your own, if you want guidance of your own, email us at heartcenterla1@gmail.com, and we will talk about your relationship next week here on Heart Center Connections.